All right, welcome to season two of the MiniPod, episode two. We have Mitchell Judy here with us today. Welcome,
Hold
Mitchell.
on one
Thank
second.
you for. But
Nope, my cat wanted in.
oh, Mitchell's on cat duty. Welcome, Mitchell. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Trevor's not here. He
I
is
noticed that.
yeah, he is unavailable. He may show up in the middle of this. He may not. Well, we don't know. So, first question. It's July 16th, so we only have a couple more minutes. What condition is your film in?
So my film right now it's all been shot
Uh-huh.
and it is currently sitting in Premiere Pro on the timeline.
Okay, nice.
So it is in the process of being edited right now.
Nice. I know that usually you have like a bunch of ideas and usually they don't always pan out. What idea is this year?
So I was really, really good this year. I had one singular idea.
Really?
So when the rule,
Seems
so
hard to believe.
I kind of had a lot of ideas
Hmm.
previously, like before we got the rules, and I was sitting
Yeah.
there, I'm like, I have a couple of ideas. I really want to roll with this. Thought I had something in my brain. I actually had like one specific idea in my brain
Hmm.
pre-rules, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do unless the rules kind of nuke this idea.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say the rules nuked that idea, but when I got the rules, there was an idea that I had had. I think it was Party Room 3. Just when the rules came out, I was like, I think this idea fits so much better. So I shelved the idea I'd been working on for a couple months
Yeah.
in favor of that idea. And I rolled with that idea basically indefinitely. I got my cast together really quick. I mean, this is a matter of like days.
Wow.
Like rules came out. I think the next day I started contacting everybody. I think I had my cast in place the day after. I knew who I was going to use.
Uh-huh.
I had my idea, I think, by probably a couple days later. Like I had fleshed out my idea of what I was going to do. And I rolled with that idea the entire time until August ended up breaking his leg.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was kind of middle of June, later June when he broke his leg. And that idea that I had been rolling with this whole time, been planning on. So it was very specific. It needed very specific costuming and it needed very specific locations
Hmm.
because I was going to shoot my entire thing in Kentucky.
Okay.
I wanted access to everybody.
Yeah.
So I had it all lined up, everything was good, but then that situation kind of forced my hand.
Yeah.
I kind of adopted this, well, let me just come up with something really simple
Hmm.
and roll with that. Luckily, all of the people who were on board for that original idea I was still able to use them. So
Hmm.
nothing changed on that front. The only thing that changed was I had people come up to me versus go to Kentucky.
That's cool.
And I
Just like a
saved a lot of and I saved a lot of money because I didn't have to costume the film out the
yeah.
way I was going to have to with that original idea.
Okay. Nice. So you have changed ideas. Just want to
I
make
did
it
I
clear.
did change ideas, but it wasn't because I just didn't like the idea. It was out of necessity that I
Okay. All
changed
right. Fair
ideas.
enough. Fair enough.
But hey, this is really only my second idea.
That's I think a big improvement. Let's pivot a little bit. What do you think is the worst way that someone could use the prop on the line this year?
I remember seeing the last mini pod, and Jacob said the worst way somebody could use it is to eat it.
Hmm.
And I don't think eating the Cheetos is necessarily like a bad idea. Like, I don't really, Cheetos is my prop idea. I don't really think there's a bad way to use the prop, honestly.
Hmm.
Like, the thing about Cheetos is they're renowned for getting you very messy.
Yeah, that is
So
true.
even something as simple as eating them is going to have some sort of lingering effect.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think there's a bad way to use this specific prop. I think
Hmm.
this prop's really good in the sense that it's really challenging to come up with new ways to use it. I think we're going to see a lot of crazy ways people use the prop because of the nature of what the prop is. It's so like, oh, you eat the Cheetos.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we're going to see different ways of using it because I feel like people aren't going to want to just eat Cheetos.
Interesting.
Um,
Kind of
and then
feels
as
like Jacob's take was that like everyone's just going to eat it, but you're saying no, it'll encourage creativity. I respect that.
I can say in my film, they're ingested, but they're not eaten.
I don't want to know what that means. We'll just have to wait to find out. What about a sellout judge? Last year we kind of tried to figure out who do we think the judge would be, but this is the year that we sell out. Who would a judge be that we would have if we were selling out?
I'm thinking like a CEO of some corporate Cheetos CEO, sponsor like the head of whoever gives us money and sponsors the festival. Like I feel like that's the true blue way to sell out.
If it wasn't Cheetahs, who would the first like PRFF sponsor be?
I mean, it's got to be. I think it's got to be Mountain Dew. I feel like Mountain Dew is. So, I mean, I feel like we're talking in.
Sure,
I feel
of
like
course
Mountain
not.
Dew is just so tied to everything that we do.
It's true.
Like initially, I would say like Taco Bell, but I'm like, really, Mountain Dew is tied to everything that we do, everything we've done. And I feel like that would just be the most appropriate sponsor to try and go to.
That is true. I mean, we have talked about having a literal Mountain Dew mascot, so I feel like that's as radical as you can get.
I forget who it was. Somebody brought up the idea of actually having a party room Mountain Dew flavor.
Really?
It was brought up somewhere. I do not remember where, but I remember hearing somebody talk about what if we actually had a party room Mountain Dew flavor. And then were asking what would that flavor be, and I don't think they had. I don't think there was an answer given.
I'm
But
assuming you have an answer, though. That doesn't seem like something you would just let fly by.
so I'm thinking like something that's like it's got to
Mm.
be fruity because it's got to be sweet. It's got to go with like Mountain Dew. I don't know if you ever had it before. Have you ever had guava?
Yes, I have. I thought it was pretty
I
good, I
feel I
think.
feel like that's a flavor that hasn't been tapped by Mountain Dew, and I feel like
Mm.
that would be a. I'm just thinking like what would I enjoy drinking at Party Room? I think
Yeah.
like a guava type flavor.
Like when I was growing up, it was Mountain Dew and Code Red, and then they did Livewire, which nobody really talked about. Livewire is actually pretty good, but
Livewire is my favorite Mountain Dew.
I respect. That might be a hot take for some people, but I think Livewire was pretty good.
It's a very hot take for some people.
I loved
Is
Code
there
Red. I loved Code Red. But how would party room sell out? Create your scenario where it's just like this is how I think it could actually happen.
how many videos do we have now? We have
Oh yeah, 255 videos.
so we have 255, and that's in what 5 years. So
Correct.
we got to. So we're gonna in 5 years we double that.
Hmm.
So that would be over 500 videos.
Yeah.
I have always thought there's a very low chance that a channel with 500 videos that each one is original content that's ridiculous. There's a big market for ridiculous. There I feel like somebody is going to take notice.
Yeah.
So it just
Many are saying that they already are.
it literally just takes one specific person to run across it and like what they see,
Hmm.
and that's where the ball starts rolling.
I know you can hear me typing because my keyboard is super loud, but I'm just writing down what you said. There's a big market for ridiculous. That seems pretty good to me. Who do you think is going to win the Golden Dewey this year?
I will say some of my cast have said they think my film is a Dewey contender.
Okay. All right.
I don't agree with them.
Oh, really?
I don't agree with them, but some of my cast have said my film is a Dewey contender. I think my hot take for this year
Yeah, yeah, bring it
is
on.
I think my hot take for this year is this is our first repeat winner.
Ooh, I
I
like
think
that.
this I think this year gives us our first repeat winner. I'm
Okay.
just thinking about all the people who have won,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like I'm like, I feel, I know everybody's like, it's Zach, it's Paul. It very well could be.
Hmm.
But I'm like, the odds, I believe, are higher that we get a repeat from the existing winners.
Okay. Do you have any like picks among the Golden Dewey winners, or just leaving it at that?
We'll see whose feathers get ruffled by this. I think Andrew becomes the first two-time
You know, that would
winner.
be pretty amazing because it would not only be the first repeat, it would also be the first back-to-back winner.
Yeah,
That would be wild.
maybe I'm a person who digs in too much to like what people say, but Andrew's very he seems very confident about what he's doing. That's similar to I feel like the confidence he had last year.
Mm.
And I think reading into that, I'm like I feel like that makes me feel like this could be another. I'm not saying he's going to do another film like I'm a Monster, another political type film, but I feel like he's going to do another film with the same kind of spirit.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's my guess.
Okay.
Um,
Take that to the bank. Heard it here first. It is he's calling out a repeat back-to-back winner. That's a vote of confidence for your confidence, Andrew. Okay, we got some odds and ends, and then we'll wrap it up. One is, what's the first film that you show someone from who's not familiar with PRFF? First time you're introducing them. Let's say that you don't know anything about them.
I'd probably say Bargain Batman.
That's one of the first ones I show people too, so I'm there
So
with you.
because I'm going through the stuff and I'm like previously I would say it's pre- we'll see what people think about this analysis. Previously I would have said that it is End of the Bloodline,
Mm,
but I feel like with where we are, I feel like Bargain Batman, I think, summarizes what the festival is now better. I think for the first, at least first 3 years, maybe even into year four, Into the Bloodline was always what I pointed to. I'm like, this is the spirit of this festival. This is kind of what it is.
yeah.
I think Into the Bloodline and like something like Sweaty Gains or Wet or something,
Uh-huh.
like those are what I pointed to. But I think as the festival has evolved, I think Bargain Batman has every every element that the festival needs to possess.
Mm,
Has every element that you want people to understand
mm-hmm.
about what the festival is.
Yeah. It's a good answer and good rationale too. Okay, what is your favorite moment of PRFF so far, and why?
Favorite moment. So I think there's a couple moments that stick out for me.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Party Room 3. Just the drive there, going there, interacting with everybody there, seeing it was really the evolution into what I was saying about Bargain Batman. It was really the evolution, that next step into this is now what the festival is.
Hmm.
And there's a feeling associated with Party Room 3 and just that day being there, seeing everybody watching the films, everything after. I think Party Room 3 is like the top moment.
Yeah.
And then followed closely, I think this is I don't know how other people feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
Um the very first podcast,
Yeah.
which I believe it was Aaron.
Yeah, it
Um
was.
season 1, episode 1, I believe it was Aaron. The reason I say that is I remember I was doing this job. I was in a house shooting. I remember the house I was shooting and what I was doing when I started listening to the podcast.
That's cool.
A- And it's funny because now we have the podcast, we have the mini pod, we have the sports pod, we have this.
Yeah.
I think the podcast is almost like the second festival.
Yeah.
The podcast has become so quintessential with the festival that it's kind of like an event in itself.
Yeah.
I remember listening to the very first episode, and everybody was like, I wonder if there's going to be any more.
Yeah,
I mean, summertime, like the festival happens,
yeah.
like everybody builds up to when the rules drop, and then everybody builds up to the festival. But I would say people build up to the first podcast episode coming out
Oh yeah, I would
almost
agree.
just as much.
Okay, I would disagree. But but I do think you're right in that it plays a crucial role. It comes around every year right at the time when you're just like, oh, like I wish we could like, do some party room stuff. And then the podcast comes out. It's perfect timing. And so I do agree with you that it's like it is a quintessential part of it. So yeah. Okay, last question. There's been some chatter. There's been some arguments. Honestly, I can't remember if you were in that chat the day that there were like 10 people in there, but we were all debating what is the best methodology to use to determine the all-time favorite festival. Because I think you gave a really great answer and you kind of summed up what a lot of people think about Party Room 3. But there are also dissenters out there like Aaron who thinks that Party Room 4 is the best festival, which is crazy.
Yeah,
So people are wanting a methodology. What would you say?
people want a methodology, but I don't think the methodology exists.
Mm,
It doesn't matter how scientific you make it and what the empirical best year is.
hmm
I think there's always going to be somebody who disagrees with it, no matter how empirical it gets. So
mm,
that's why I say you just need to fall back on feeling,
mm.
and you need to just look at what everybody's feeling is and average it out by that. Because at the end of the day, people's feelings, I think, trump whatever the scientific data says.
I'm gonna go on record here and say that I think you are right about that, 100%. Okay, anything else? I don't feel like we have a lather your butts quote yet for this year, but ebbs and flows. So
Um,
you have
the reason we don't have a lather your butts quote yet is because all that's when all the stuff from my film this year comes out, like it's there, the quotes are in there.
okay.
Um, I'll
So
give
we
you
have that to look
let me
forward
give
to.
you a little peek behind the curtain
Oh,
real quick
please do.
before we wrap up. I needed this year to be simple because I had a limited amount of time with my people and with myself. And my exact words were, okay, I have scripted the first part of this, and after this, I need you guys to just make stuff up. And boy, did stuff get made up. um, I just wanted a film that was fun. I wanted a filming experience that was going to be enjoyable.
Hmm.
And in hindsight, did I get what I wanted or what I needed? Maybe not, but what I got, I think what I got is going to age way better than anything I could have scripted.
Yeah.
Um, the content that's going to come from my film this year is going to go farther than just a film at the festival this year. I was inadvertently given a gold mine by the four guys that I had on my set.
Dude, honestly, those are some of the best moments, I feel like, when things just like you just let stuff happen and it just comes out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my experience on Science and it was just a blast.
I got to be on Bargain Batman when Matt Stice shot that, and it
Uh-huh.
was so much fun. And the only thing I wanted this year more than anything was to have my own Bargain Batman and
Yeah.
have a set that is fun and everybody is going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that. So, regardless of how the film turns out, I got what I set out to do this year already.
All right, there's only one thing left to say, and that is that I'm just hanging out.
Family with my hanging out. Yeah. Cool.
Leave it to Mitchell.